This absolutely gorgeous piece of kit here is a 2024 Jaguar F Type R Plus 575. And although that sounds like a mouthful, I promise every letter and number in there is important and well worth saying. First of all, looking at the design, you can see that it's not changed much from the F Types we've seen in recent years, and that's because this is coming to the end of life, so it's not going to receive a full facelift and look new again. This is it. But luckily, it has these really good designs that are going to be timeless and they look like it could be crafted by Air itself. First, you've got this long bonnet at the front going straight into this really steep windshield, along this slim waistline, out to these really broad shoulders at the back. And the standout features for me are these bonnet vents, side vents, quad exhaust at the back, and that fixed rear spoiler. On top of all that, we've also got these badges and logos around the car to celebrate the brand's 75th birthday. But one of my favourite things is these pop-out handles for getting in and out. I just think they're so classy. Now, inside is just as nice as outside. You can see it's finished with a lot of high quality materials. Just look at these Windsor leather seats. You've got the leather wrapped sports steering wheel with your R badge on there. You've got suede headlining and gloss black finishes throughout. And I understand that Jag have tried to make a small cabin feel spacious, and I think this panoramic roof really helps bring the light in and make it feel like that. And to be honest, once you're in, there is actually quite a bit of space. It's got loads of legroom here and I don't feel too cramped, and it's even better for passengers not having a wheel there. But one thing that bugs me is the lack of storage. You've got two cup holders here and a very tiny compartment here and a glove box, and that's it. You've got a net here, but I don't even see what use that would be. There's not a lot you can keep in there. And this big plastic console here is just empty. I feel like that could be extra storage. And they've got a cheek to put coat hangers behind the seat. And realistically, it is a sports car. It's not meant to be very practical. So they've tried their best, but I think there's a lot of missed opportunities. You do still get your 10-inch touchscreen display, and it's very responsive. It also comes with Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, but you do have to plug them in, and because the car hasn't had an update, there's no USB-C ports, it's just the standard older ones. So if you've got newer phones, you can't really connect. You also get a remote app that you can link the car up to, and you can check the app when you're in your home, make sure the car's locked, see where it's parked, check the fuel status, and my favourite part is you can remote access the car to activate it, so it'll start the engine up. It's not really remote start, although it is, but it's actually meant for the climate controls, so you can like condition the cabin before you get in, which has been an absolute blessing in this heat wave that we seem to be having. Now, bearing in mind, this is a sports coupe, so it's made for performance rather than practicality. But that said, when you open up the power tailgate here, you still get around 300 litres of space in the boot. Now, that's on the coupe. If you were to get the convertible, you would almost half that because the roof falls down into it. But you can see here, there is a decent amount of space in there, and you shouldn't have any issues packing a couple of small suitcases if you're going a trip away. But for most everyday stuff, it'll be absolutely fine. Lifting the bonnet up is pretty cool. It's a little bit heavy, but once it's up, I think it looks like a transformer. However, it's quite underwhelming because you've got this big plastic cover over the engine to protect it. So instead, we'll just go for a drive. Now, there's three drive modes available in this F Type R, and you've got normal mode, dynamic mode, and then you've got like your snow, ice and rain modes. In comfort mode, driving around town is so easy, it just feels like a regular car. You still hear the engine in the background there, but it's slightly muted. The steering's nice and light for kind of driving around city, and the suspension's really soft and forgiving. So yeah, it's quite pleasant just here in comfort mode. When you flick it into dynamic mode, it doesn't make too much of a difference initially, and if that's as far as it went, I would be pretty disappointed in my 110 grand sports car. But there is some other things you can do. Press a few little buttons, almost like preparing a fighter jet, and it just changes this car entirely. Speaking of buttons to press, if you're enjoying this review so far, please hit the subscribe button so you can keep seeing further car reviews from my page. Let's unleash the beast. Now this is a wildcat that we're expecting from a 110 grand Jag. Now this F Type has a supercharged V8 with 575 PS and it can do 0 to 60 in just 3.5 seconds. Now I'm glad it's all-wheel drive because all of that power going through rear wheels, that would just be uncontrollable. But this just, it gives you so much confidence. You want to just keep pushing it. And when you're doing the manual controls, this thing will keep going all the way up to about 6,500 RPM. And with every gear change, you can feel the adrenaline just rush through your veins. It's incredible. I feel like I'm rambling a bit, but it's really hard to put into words just what this feels like. The steering's so direct, everything's just so precise. Yeah, this is unbeatable. Now the F-Type range starts from around £68,000 for the P300, which is still a very good engine, and as the name suggests, it's still a 300 horsepower car, rear wheel drive, so you're going to have loads of fun with that. In this one, this goes over the 100 grand mark, tipping the scales at 109, with only a couple of optional extras. I think the base price for this is around 103, so it really needs to justify the cost, but bear in mind, the days are numbered for this car. This is soon going to be a collector's item, probably going to turn into a great investment. So if I had 100 grand lying around, this would be a really extravagant and fun car to own. But I don't think I would use it as a daily car. I think this is one to be purchased and then stored and kept well with low mileage. Alternatively to that, if you want to go for another car, you could also check out the 718 Porsche Cayman S that I tested last year or 2 years ago, which is sort of similar value to the P450 and the P300, and obviously it is the German alternative to it. But genuinely, I think a true British sports car like this deserves more of a place in our world than German cars. So if it was me, I strongly recommend go and have a try at one of these before they're done completely. I'm pretty sure the build spots are limited, so it's like your last chance to check it out. Whatever you decide to do, or even if you were just watching this to see how good this car was, thank you for that. And I hope you've really enjoyed this video as much as I've enjoyed making it. And if so, please remember to hit that subscribe button, and please go and look at my channel to see other car reviews, including the Porsche mentioned there, and similar cars like it coming soon. So thanks again, and please subscribe.